What's going on, and welcome back to the second episode of EpiCryptAI. I am your host, B-Rad, and here we're going to make sense of Web3, NFTs, and digital ownership without the headache and without the hype. About time, right? All right, so in the last episode, we broke down how to earn with NFTs, and I do have to retract something from that first episode. I did give a specific percentage amount of 7.5%. Now, that's not right because it depends on what the creator sets as the royalties in the description of your NFT. There's going to be a percentage at the inside that NFT that tells you what percentage of royalties that you actually gain off of that NFT. It's not always going to be 7.5%. A common is 5% to 10%. So make sure you always look at your NFT description and make sure what the actual percentage is for that the creator made for the NFT for those royalties. All right, so now you might be wondering, well, B-Rad, how am I going to start my own NFT project? And that is a good question. So whether you're an artist, a builder, or just curious, we're going to break down and teach you how to actually launch an NFT collection, use tools that require no coding whatsoever. Thank God you don't have to be an engineer for that. Stay compliant with regulations and avoid the mistakes that kill 99% of all Web3 projects because there's a lot out there. So let's get into it. First, we're going to go, what are you actually creating? You have to understand you need something that you're going to create with your NFT. Something has to be created with that NFT. So what are you going to create? What are you making? So before you write a single line of code, which will also tell you how to do the no coding required, or open Photoshop, you've got to decide, what are you actually creating? Now, there are three common models that work for 2025 for NFTs. One is an art collection, which is generative, AI, or one-of-one pieces. Something that can't be duplicated, a one-on-one. A membership pass is the second one. This NFT gives holders access to events, drops, or a community. These things have stuff that is connected to the membership pass. So like if you have something that you have a membership to and they buy this NFT, it opens up that membership pass for them. So it's automatically their membership pass. They don't have to have a card. They don't have to have anything. It's in that NFT. And the last one is a utility tool. Now, this is a like token gated voting, premium reports, or IRL, which means in real life perks. So let's give you an example of this, right? Let's say you create 100 pieces of AI generated whiskey art. Each NFT gives the holder access to a private tasting event. That's both an art collection and a utility. So it's both of those because it's connected with something. It has a utility pass. All right. So for the next part, it's tools to launch that have no code required. You do not have to be an engineer. Thank the Lord. You don't even have to be a developer either. You don't have to know all of that stuff to be able to develop it or create it or engineer it or any of that stuff. So there are no-code tools that let you launch your NFT collection with just a few clicks. Some of the best ones for 2025, here we go. Let's go through them. Your first one is going to be Manifold, live for full creative control and custom contracts. So yeah, it gives you full creative control on it. It has all the contracts connected to it with custom contracts, so you can customize anything you want on that contract. The next one is Zora. Great for art drops and low gas. That's something I definitely want to research because the low gas, I'm thinking it's a car, but we're going to figure that out as well. Something definitely to put on for the next episode of what low gas is on the Zora. The next one is going to be Thirdweb. It's a drag and drop interface for collections. So it's a real easy drag and drop for any of your collections for that NFT. The next one is going to be Bueno.art. It's a PFP style collections and it has easy layering. So you have different layers to it, but it's all easy to layer each one of them. And the last one is Base, Arbitrum, or Polygon. And these are all for deep, fast transactions. So let's give you a real world comparison. These platforms are all like Shopify. Everybody knows Shopify, right? But for NFT collections, you upload your images, name your collection, set your royalties, and it handles the minting. No engineers required. So it handles literally everything as you put it into here. And it's literally a platform like Shopify, but for your NFT collections. All right. So the next part is smart contracts without legal headaches. This is huge. You have to make sure you pay attention to all your legal verbiage, even the little stuff, because it can get you in a lot of trouble. So let's talk the smart contracts and how to avoid the legal trouble, right? Definitely want to know all the ins and outs of that, because you do not want to get into legal trouble with the SEC when minting your NFT. All right, so every NFT you mint will use a smart contract that's connected to that NFT. And inside that contract, you as the creator will set your supply, how many exist if it's a one of one or if you have a ton of them. Your royalties, which like we talked about earlier, that I had to make sure I retracted from that 7.5%, because you actually can do the common is 5% to 10% for the royalties on an NFT that the creators actually set in the description. Transferability, can it be sold? Are you going to make it transferable, or is it going to be soul bound? And then your metadata, where your images and data live. They let you know to use IPFS for that. Now, here's the big one that you have to avoid at all costs. Avoid making promises of profit. You cannot promise profit on your NFT. The SEC will get involved. It's a financial product after that when you promise profit, and it's going to be a mess. So if you say this NFT will make you money, congrats. You just got caught up in a insecurity and created a whole security breach for SEC. So your better approach is to promise access, not income. Let them know what kind of access they get for the NFT. Don't promise them income. So here's a good analogy for something like that. It's like running a whiskey lounge. You can sell VIP passes, right? But if you say, buy this and you'll earn passive income, you're now selling a financial product, not just a membership. So make sure that when you're doing your NFTs and you're telling people about them, you always want to promise access, not income. And you always want to deliver experience, not investment. Let them know that you are trying to deliver an experience and not an investment into the NFT. It is an experience all in itself so that you can build your actual community. All right. So the next part is going to be community first. Rug minus proof. And this will make sense in here in just a minute. So you don't want to be labeled a rug pull. Here's how to avoid that, because you can definitely be labeled a rug pull when it comes to these NFTs and how you set them up. Make sure you put your community first and your profit second. That is one of the main goals on creating your NFTs. You don't want to actually railroad your community. You want to make sure that they know that you're in it to win it just as much as they are. That's why you created this NFT. It was something that you could build a community with so that everybody could actually own this. Here's how successful creators do it when they mint their NFT. They start a waitlist or Discord before you mint it. Before you even mint your NFT, you start a Discord or a waitlist for that NFT. You share your art or idea on X, which used to be Twitter, but it's X now, daily. Every day you share it. Share. You want everybody to be able to see it. You want it to be in that algorithm. You guys know how algorithms work. The more you like, the more you comment, the more stuff that happens. So make sure you're sending that out and telling your people to like it, comment on it, all that stuff. Use platforms like Zeely or Galaxy. for your whitelist quest. And your one last thing that you could do that could build your community tremendously is reward your early fans with free mints or airdrops. And that's for you to create on your NFTs, where you can actually do for your early fans. You can give them a free mint on an NFT, or you can actually give them an airdrop. So remember, don't mint until people are asking for it. Make your NFT, get it started, get it ready, start telling people about it, but don't mint it until people start asking, how do I get your NFT? How do I access the NFT? Let demand happen naturally. If you keep posting on social media, people are going to start getting curious about it, on what it is, what it does, all this stuff. And if you're telling people that you're able to access this stuff with this NFT, they're going to want to know. So just let it happen naturally. The demand is going to come. It might take a little bit. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's here to stay. So you might as well just sit back, buckle up, and wait for it to happen, because eventually it will. Eventually this is going to come around. So just make sure you're telling everybody about your NFT, but don't mint it until they start demanding for it. Once the demand hits, then you can actually mint it. If your community feels like they're building with you, they'll stick around until after the mint too. So if they stick around after the mint, they're in it to win it with you. They're not going to try and let this NFT go. They're going to let it build its community and let it see what happens and be able to get the royalties off of that NFT. It is definitely a way to build your community as big as possible, and to build honest and trust and loyalty from that community as well. Because if you build trust and loyalty first with that NFT, and don't promise income, don't promise any of that stuff, just let them know that you are giving an experience, you're delivering the experience, you're not promising investment. The demand will come naturally. It will always come naturally. And then they'll stick around, because if you're sticking with it and you're keeping that NFT as a mint, they're going to stick around after the mint as well. They're not going to want to jump ship and just and try and sell that, or do what they need to try and gain profitability. So the next part, free versus paid mints. I know. Let's talk about strategy. There's always a strategy with this, and free mints are good, paid mints are good. So you just got to try and figure out, research, look at everything, read all your descriptions. Should your NFT be free when you're making it? Should it be low cost, or should it be premium? These are the questions you want to ask when you're building your community. So the 3 launch models are going to be a free mint, which is best for growing fast and proving value. Low cost mint, which adds some skin in the game. Gives you a little skin in the game, you know what I'm saying? And premium mint, but only if you've built real trust and demand. For example, you drop 1,000 free EpiCrypt Founders Passes NFTs. They unlock, and the private AI art drops. In real life, events and educational reports, no promises, and the proof of value. So the premium mint, only do a premium mint if you built real trust and demand from your community. If you build a real trust and demand for your NFT in your community, then you can make it premium. Now, let's give you an example of that. Now, so let's say you drop 1,000 free EpiCryptAI Founders Passes that are NFTs. What those do, they unlock private AI art drops, in real life events, and educational reports. But there's no promises and no proof of value. That way you're staying compliant with the SEC, and you're not telling them or promising them an investment or financial profitability. All right. So the next part is mistakes that kill NFT projects. Man, this is stuff that you really need to pay attention to. Um, we're gonna go rapid fire through these top mistakes to avoid. This is gonna be real quick. First one you don't want to do is over promising around roadmap you can't deliver. Second one is faking scarcity. Don't say limited if it's not. Next one is ignoring legal basics. Don't ever ignore legal basics. Even the smallest legal stuff you need to pay attention to because it is so important. And last one on the no list is disappearing after your mint. That's what a rug pull is. It's when you mint your NFT and you bail after it and everybody's left stranded. So you pull the rug out from underneath them. And unfortunately, that does happen. So if you build your community and build your value to your community, everybody's going to stick around after the mint if they see that you're sticking around after the mint as well. So here's all the good to do list. Do ship updates regularly to your people. Do talk to your holders. Don't leave them in the dark. Don't ghost them. Make sure you're staying in communication with them. They will appreciate that and they will stick with the community and they will stick after the mint because you've cared about them and you haven't just serviced them. It's not about customer service. It's about customer care. Do reward participation. For the people that participate, like I told you in the last episode, I have my very own Zora B-Rad NFT sticker already. And there's also a link for that in Manifold that you can go to be able to up your XP, because my NFT is like a game. You get to up your XP. It's like when you play a game and you want to get a bigger sword or better armor or a better shield and more health. Mine is got XP to it to where you have to do certain things to build your XP on my Zora B-Rad NFT sticker. The link will be in the description below as well. All right, so your final rule for this is going to be treat your project like a startup, not a lottery ticket. If you're treating this like a kickstart, like a startup, you're going to have as much passion about it and want to start it up with other people, and you're only going to want to bring in the people that you know will boost you up and boost this NFT up and talk good about it and not talk trash. You want your community to be solid. You want to give it to the people that you know are going to be solid in your community always. So always treat it like a startup, not a lottery ticket. Once you start treating it like a lottery ticket, that's when the flags start coming up. SEC gets involved. We start talking about financial profitability, and it turns bad after that. All right. So in closing, just to recap, if you want to launch an NFT in 2025, first use tools like Manifold or Thirdweb. Avoid making financial promises. Don't make financial promises at all. Focus on your community, not cash. That is huge right there. You will build so much respect and trust in your community if you treat the community as a person and not cash. Don't treat them like a dollar sign. Don't treat them like money in your pocket. Treat them like the people that they are. Let them know about everything. Stay in touch with them. Let them know what's going on. And treat them like a community, not cash. It's one of the easiest, best rules I could tell you right now with building your community for your NFT. Deliver real world value. Hey man, this is real world stuff. It can happen. Like, the value of this is real world. Always, always, always stay compliant, creative, and consistent. Always stay creative. Make new NFTs, mint new NFTs, tell people about it. Like, stay creative, stay consistent. Stay consistent with your people and your community. Always stay compliant, though. Always stay compliant. Even the littlest legal thing can get you screwed up and get red flags thrown to SEC and really ruin a Web3 project. Just like it says, 99% of Web3 projects get killed instantaneously when they do things of that nature. So avoid all that. All right, man. This was episode 2 of EpiCryptAI, man. I hope you had a blast. My name is B-Rad. I'm your host, and I hope you had fun and learned as much as I did. So hit that subscribe button, the follow button, hit the bell, ding dong, notifications to let you know exactly when we drop our videos. It's going to be every Tuesday. We will do our best to make sure that schedule stays on time for you guys so that you guys can learn all of this Web3, NFT, digital processing, all of this every Tuesday with your boy B-Rad. Stay tuned, and until next time, stay bold, stay creative, and mint with purpose. I'm out.